Today I will be doing a short, relatively short video. Maybe not. I don't know how long it will be. But anyway, of Aurora. But not her singing. Basically, just Aurora being Aurora. Because I really find her sense of humor so endearing, and it's so dry and so special, you know. And it also reminds me of something else, and I'm going to go into that if I can after. But but yeah, I hear somebody, one of the commenters, Bill, I believe, actually sent me this link, and this is someone actually took out this particular section of a longer TikTok video that Aurora made, and this was perfect. You know, because I probably would have done the same, you know, to try and get this particular part, because it's funny, and I like when she's being her witty self, you know. And anyway, here we go. For those who haven't seen it,
I just locked eyes with a seagull. I like animals very much, but I think of seagulls as my enemies. There's something about them. The seagulls are kind of my enemies, but it's not.
I mean, seagulls are her enemies, and the way she locked eyes with the seagull, I believe it, you know, because she was like, she reminded me of. Hold on, let me see if I can capture that moment. Yeah, she reminded me of my nephew who has a phobia of spiders, and when he sees a spider, like he freezes, you know, and and that's what she sort of did, you know, when she saw the seagull, like that look, and it's sort of funny, right? And yeah, that she's out of all the animals, she's scared of seagulls, right?
I like animals very much, but I think of seagulls as my enemies.
Maybe not scared, but as her enemies. I don't know what that means exactly, but
There is something about them.
what she sees is
The
something
seagulls
else.
are kind of my enemies, but it's mostly because they are just violent creatures.
Back to the seagulls and Aurora.
Taste.
Oh wait, let me
They
hold
can
on.
spread the trash out in the streets, and they're just relentless. Seagulls are relentless.
I mean, she
And
says
seagulls
relentless,
also
and
have-
it sounds endearing, right? It's just the way she pronounces words, and the same thing when she sings. It's just, it's beautiful because you can actually hear what she's talking about, not only now, but when she's singing, and I find that quite nice, you know, because a lot of songs I don't understand what they're saying, you know, so it's harder to follow. In her, she has lyrics that are poetic, and pronouncing them well, the words, brings justice to her songs and to her poetry, and to the story that she's trying to explain, and so on.
And they're just relentless. Seagulls are relentless. And seagulls also, they have no taste. There's no poetry, there's no fashion sense. And there's something about their colors as well that there's just nothing. They have no humor.
It's seagulls, her sworn enemies, and but we'll see what happens here, because this sort of reminded me of something, and to keep with the theme of the last video that I did, of her doing this little skit of TikTok that reminded me of Alfred Hitchcock. So, you know, I want to see if I can follow it up, because this would fit very well with. I'm guessing she's not a fan of the movie The Birds. So, but 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 anyway, let me see if I could do that. Again, I'll add it here. Bye.
See any birds in Canberra? There's a lot of galahs.
I saw a lot of birds, and one bird really frightened me. It was quite huge, looked like a crow, quite dark in its feathers, and it made this sound which sounded like a little boy shouting, "Wah!" Like it was really weird.
Haunting.
And it was quite haunting. I've been struggling with sleep since then.
Here it is. This is sort of like what gave me the idea of her, Aurora and the seagulls. Because the last time I thought of a seagull was actually in the movie The Birds, where the seagull attacks Tippi Hedren. I believe that's the actress's name. Like she's on a boat, a little boat, and that's the first sign of attack, right? She gets attacked, and that's the image that, at least that's the thought that I had, like, can you imagine? So can you imagine if Aurora actually sees this movie or has seen it, and she sees the seagulls attacking this girl that could just as easily be her? Anyway, but this is the introduction, the trailer to the movie The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. He did his own trailer with him included. He always included himself in movies. In stuff that he did, including in movies. He's got a cameo, I think, in all of the movies that he's made. You just have to look for him. Anyway, I thought this would be interesting because we're talking about two geniuses, with the same, in my opinion, a similar type of humor in the sense of dry and incredibly advanced. Oops, let's see. Let me.
How do you do? My name is Alfred Hitchcock, and I would like to tell you about my forthcoming lecture. It is about the birds and their age-long relationship with man. It will be seen in theaters like this across the country. Through it all, man has played a conspicuous part. This cave drawing is one of man's earliest sketches of his feathered friend. One can see at once the loving care with which the artist depicted his subject. Naturally, the egg plays a very prominent part in my lecture. Not a word about which came first, however. I don't believe in dealing with controversial matters. Thousands of years ago, man was satisfied merely to steal an egg from a nest and use it for food. Now he has perfected this process by imprisoning each hen in a separate cage and by scientifically manipulating the lights so that she doesn't fall into the rut of the old 24-hour day. Thus, he can induce the bird to reach fantastic heights of egg production. Surely the birds appreciate all we've done for them. Don't you? Beautiful cage, fresh water, no other birds to bother you, none of that blinding sunlight. Oh!
Notice the sarcasm, right? The dry wit and so on. Hold on.
Beautiful cage, fresh water, no other birds to bother you, none of that blinding sunlight. Oh! Now why would he do that? Most peculiar. What on earth?
They're coming! They're coming!